This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Most High, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not thy incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And this lesson is going to be about wars and rumors of wars and uprising of the people, right?
To be an abundance almost of protest and resistance around the globe. Why is it happening? And why is it getting, of course, so little attention? Because most people don't cover the news, at least not international news. Here, let me take you through some of these. Kazakhstan. A new president was recently elected, and this is how the people there reacted. Watch. Mr. Tokayev won the election with 71% of the vote. Look at what happened on the streets. People seem to think he's too closely aligned to the ex-president, Nazarbayev. He was there for some 30 years, by the way. 500 protesters were arrested. All right, next, let's go to Hong Kong. Put it up. This one was really nuts. I mean, look at this. More than 1 million people take to the streets to protest an extradition law that allows China now to take Hong Kong citizens to face trial in the mainland. Not fair, say the people of Hong Kong, who feel like the days of China ruling over Hong Kong have long passed. And now let's do this. Let's go over to Albania. Can you believe this? I mean, all of this going on since Friday. These protests are because their elections were canceled. The president of the country recently stopped the election. That hardly ever is going to go over well. He said he had to do it to ease the political tensions. Thousands of Albanians took to the streets, some tossing Molotov cocktails at the police. And now, from Albania to Moldova. The protest here seems, milder, maybe more peaceful nonetheless. Look at the number of people that take to the streets here. They were called after the pro-Russian president was stripped of his duties. Protesters have taken to the streets, but officially they say it could have been much worse. Still, authorities fear that violence could get worse, and in what is one of Europe's poorest countries. Now, finally, let's take you, staying in this hemisphere, to Venezuela. President Maduro has reopened the border to Colombia. Thousands of people immediately, it's like they knew it was kind of come or something. Suddenly thousands of people started crossing the bridge. They're going over there to buy food, medicine, and other household items. Police tried to organize it as best they could so they can get through. Violence has not occurred, but the situation obviously remains tense as U.S.-backed President Juan Guaido continues his claim, I should say, as the president of Venezuela. I know, it's confusing. Sounds like a perfect segment, doesn't it? All this.
So what you just looked at was what? The uprisers of the people, right? Now, check out this video of Putin and what he said regarding World War III, right?
From Vladimir Putin, no less unfiltered Vladimir Putin. But tonight, I think it's important that we do so. To those of you thinking, well, of course, you're going to play Putin sound bites. You're RT. No, actually, I kind of had to talk our editorial staff into this one because over the weekend I happened to be listening to what he had to say about how dangerous our world is right now, and it got me to thinking that whether we think he's an angel or the devil himself, as he's made out to be in the U.S. media generally speaking, the questions that he is raising about nuclear proliferation may be paramount to our survival.
Если мы не будем держать под контролем этого огненного змея, если мы выпустим его, не дай бог, из бутылки, это же может привести к глобальной катастрофе. Вот смотрите, сегодня все занимаются проблемами окружающей среды. И это
So what you just seen was a news story about how Putin is saying that he would rather have peace than war, but the Most High is stirring up these people to have war and not peace, right? Because the children of Israel is waking up, and the Most High is going to bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision. But we are here to give the children of Israel warning, to let them know, hey man, the time is at hand. Turn from your wickedness and come back to your God, right? It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak of the one the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul, right? You want to deliver your soul if you're telling the wicked to turn from his wickedness. But if you don't tell him, guess what? His blood is going to be upon your hands. So right now, the Most High put the Spirit on me to be in the spirit of prophecy to give our people warning, right? So check this out. So what we're looking at right now is a video of Swedish and U.S. spy planes being intercepted by Russian jets, right? Because there's wars and rumors of wars, man, it is intensifying right now. The uprising of the people is getting greater and greater. Trying to get right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the building of the temple. Verse 2. And Yahushua said unto them, see not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? This is the beginning of sorrows. But we got to understand and measure the time diligently to see where we at in these prophecies, man. That's why this book, our book, has no comparison. The Most High then set up his prophets in the last days, which he gave wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to bring out these scriptures to give the people warning. It says that this gospel shall be preached around the world, and then the end will come. So no one is going to be able to have an excuse, the reason why you're not following the ways of the Most High, if you're an Israelite man, woman, or child, right? next precept. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1, chapter 7 and verse 1. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night afore. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then he said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case of the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of good things, and the entrance thereof is narrow, and set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go out at once. If this city now, which were given for a man, given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, Is it so, Lord? Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion. Right? So you got to go through this narrow path. You got to go through this trial and tribulation. Because we see the day approaching, right? So you need to get yourself right. Whatever you need to do, fast, pray. Ask the Most High to put that spirit on you to go harder and harder for the truth, right? Let's get this next precept. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Right? It says, Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. So the Most High giving you again warning to enter in at the straight gate. Don't go with these philosophies or these other doctrines, man. Stick with the doctrine of the Bible, that you're an Israelite, that you must have the faith, that you must have works also, right? Let's get to the next precept. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yeah, work out your own salvation, man. Study harder. Go harder for the Most High. Do videos on a daily basis, man. Making your calling and election sure, right? With this, hope it's been edifying to the flock. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. The prophecies are being fulfilled, Israel. Wars and rumors of wars. Uprising of the people. It's time to get right. Shalom.